All right, so you just finished setting up your first virtual booth event. Congratulations. You've tried the booth and you've taken the photo, and then you click the final save button. Right? We upload it, we process it, and then we get you to the final screen. However, the page looks like this, right? You don't like the white background, and you don't like the fact that it says social media sharing by PicPic Social, and you might want to change some of these sharing options. All right, so to edit this design, to change that, we need to update the microsite, or we need to add a microsite design to that specific event. So going back to the Audrey and Jim wedding, we're going to click the pencil icon to edit this event, and then we're going to jump to the add-ons tab. And you'll see we have three different add-ons here. Right now, we're going to focus on the microsite add-on. So we're going to click microsite, and we're going to, so you can select a template if you have one that you've created before that you want to reuse, or you can click the add button to add a completely new one. So we're going to call this Jim and Audrey wedding microsite. And again, this name right here is something that's internal to you only. Nobody else is going to see it. And then we're going to enter a page title. The page title is what's going to be shown if the person decides to share this microsite or that photo to Instagram, or not to Instagram, but to Facebook or to Twitter. It will say in the post, Jim and Audrey wedding microsite. So let's delete microsite because we only want it to say Jim and Audrey wedding. Now, you have the option under privacy to enable the gallery page. This way, anybody who takes a photo can go back and look at all the other photos from the library. You can enable that if you would like, or you can keep it disabled. You can password protect the gallery and then add a password to it if you would like. And then you can also choose the option that virtual booth photos must be approved by the operator. That means that in order for any of these photos to show up in the gallery, you first need to go in and manually approve them. So maybe we might be a little bit concerned that this is a public event. So we want to enable this to make sure that people don't go into the booth and take inappropriate photos that we do not want shared publicly. So we'll enable this. We can move over to styling, and we'll see we have a few different settings on this page. The only thing that will change is the link color. So we'll make the link color white, as well as the font color. We'll keep the background color to white because we're going to be uploading a custom background image to it, but we'll also change the visited link color to white. Going down to the background image, we're going to upload a background image for this microsite page. The dimensions 1920 by 1080. The background position, we're going to set that to full stretched. And then we'll go over to the sharing tab, and we have these options that we can enable and disable for people to share their booth photo. We have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, email, and then the download option. We're only going to enable Facebook, Twitter. We'll remove Instagram. We'll keep email and download, but you can enable text messaging if you would like. And so the social sharing, similar to what you changed over here with the page title, you'll enter it in the same page title and then the description. The description is what's going to be displayed once you share that link to Facebook. Facebook will put a little blurb that will have this description here. All right, and we'll do the same thing for Twitter. Now, the share button position. In this example, we have the share button above. We're going to shift that to the bottom. So we're going to move the share button below the image, and then we're going to change our button colors, our base color. You can see it's this PicPic Social blue, and then the icons are white. We're going to change the base color to actually be the same color we used for the virtual booth for Audrey and Jim, and we're going to keep the icon color the same as white. And you'll also see we have email sharing enabled, so we have to put in the sender name. So we'll say that this is coming from myself. Or actually, what you would probably want to do is the name of your company, right? So we'll put in Acme Photo Booth. And then the sender email would be your company email. So acme@acmephotoboothco.com. So anytime you're entering your sender email, you always want to make sure you're not using a at gmail.com, at Yahoo, at Hotmail, etc. You want it to be the email address that's specific to your domain and your company. The reason is if you're sending emails that are coming from at Gmail or at Hotmail or at Yahoo, they will most likely end up in the spam filter of the recipients. For the subject, we'll put Audrey and Jim wedding photos. And then we can have an email that's sent, or we can have a design for email pre-created, or we can add a new one if we don't have one that's in here that we like. So we'll just create one by clicking on the add button, and we'll just, for the title, or for the template name, Audrey and Jim wedding photo booth email. And we'll just write a little blurb. Thanks for using the using the virtual photo booth for Audrey and Jim's wedding. Your photos are attached. And you want to take this opportunity to advertise yourself a little bit. So you're probably going to want to put in some information about your company and where they can reach you if they want a booth for their event as well. And you can also highlight this and then turn it into a hyperlink. And then press OK. And let's assume we have a company logo that we want to utilize. We can click on this button right here. And it looks like we've got some, but we want to get the black one so that it shows up properly. Here we go. This is the one we want. And then we're going to enter the image. So it's a little bit too big, right? It takes up too much of the screen. So we can double click on it and it'll bring us back to this section, and we can change the height and the width in percentages. I'm just going to set this to a 30% change in the width and then save it. And that's pretty small, but it's, that can be adjusted, but we'll leave it as that. And now we've got our email template set up. We can click the checkbox to save it. And we can skip the Instagram sharing. We don't have Instagram enabled, so we can skip that. And I think that we are all set here. And we'll click on the check mark to save it. Once you save that microsite, you'll be brought back to the Microsites add-on tab. And you'll see that the template that we just created for the microsite has been automatically added. And we now need to turn that add-on on. So just click the toggle to turn it on. And you can ignore where it says custom Facebook application. This is only needed if you are on the agency plan and you're using a custom domain and you want to have Facebook sharing enabled. You can check out another guide for this, but you can ignore that unless those conditions fit you. So let's click save. And you'll see that we have the microsite added to the event. We'll click save one last time. Now we can go back to our page for the microsite and refresh. And now you'll see that we have the background updated, but it still says social media sharing powered by PicPic Social. And we don't want that. We want to update that to say something along the lines of Acme Photo Booth. So let's go back to the event again. Click the pencil icon to edit the event. Go back to add-ons. Go back to the microsites. And we're going to click edit to edit the Jim and Audrey microsite. Now from this page, we want to click on the Design tab. This will bring us to the Microsite Designer. And on the Designer, you'll see this is where we can change the text that's at the top. and then also the text that's at the bottom. So it says social media sharing by PicPic Social, but we want this to be by Acme Photo Booth Co. So we can change that text, and then we want to turn this into a URL, so we can highlight it and then click on the insert link icon and then type in our URL. Click OK, and everything is how we want it to look. So now up at the top, it says, thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to share your photo. We can click into here and update this as we want. And let's say we want to add our logo to the top over here. We can click to the top, click on the insert edit image icon, and then we can browse for our logo. So we're not going to use the black one here. We're going to use the white one. Yikes. This should be it. And it's a little bit too big, I can tell just by looking at the numbers. I want to set this to 300, and I'll let it automatically change the height. There we go. All right, now we're going to click Save and Close to exit out of where we just were, and then we'll click the check mark button again to save it. And then from here again, we can save the microsite add-on by clicking Save. And again, refresh the page. All right, so now we have your company. Thank you for using the virtual booth virtual booth for Audrey and Jim. Our sharing options, and then our text at the bottom has been updated along with the URL. But wait a minute, where is our back to gallery page? Well, the button to show us the full gallery. We don't have that here. So let's again edit it. And we need to enable the gallery page since we didn't previously. So we click on that. And now we also want to enable the show link to full gallery page. And then we'll save again. And once we do that, we can click Save to edit to save the settings for the microsite, and then refresh. Okay, so now you see we have the link that says Full Gallery. So we can click on that link, and the full gallery takes the same design that we created for the microsite page. But we've got another issue. Our photo is not here in the full gallery. So the reason the photo is not here is because we enabled the auto moderator. So that means that the only way you will see photos from the event is if they have been approved. So to approve the photo, you have to go to the photo list. So you'll see we have our photo here, and there's a check mark button. There's also a delete button. You can save, you can approve the photo, or you can delete it. So we'll click the check mark button to approve the photo. We'll go back to this page over here, which is our gallery, and then we'll refresh again. And now we have our photos show up. So any photos that are taken in the photo booth that have been approved will show up here. We'll click on the photo. It'll take us to the single page for the photo. And then we have our sharing options. And then we can click on full gallery to go back to the list of photos.